Hey friends, this is Moses Correa coming to South Jersey to talk to you today about minimalism. So, over the last 5 weeks, we've talked about how to choose a training program to meet your goals and to keep healthy and long term results. As you can probably see by now, these often our programs miss one or most of these important principles of success. So, you're going to want to kind of take time to examine what you're doing and add in the things that need to be added in. If it's flexibility or you haven't been movement screened, do that. If you haven't focused on strength after you develop good movement, then start there. And then if you haven't been conditioning, you're doing strength training, you're going to want to condition because your strength is almost useless without conditioning. And like we say, every Tuesday we have a simple workout for you on blog that you can follow. Some are a little bit harder to follow than others. Just find the ones that work for you and use those with your kettlebell skills or your body weight training skills. And we're going to keep producing those for you. We really enjoy doing it, Mark and I. But today we're talking about minimalism. So you got your program, you got your 5 things that you need, and there needs to be something to kind of hold it all, put it all together. So you look at that and go, that's a real lot. How can I train for all these different aspects of fitness? Well, there's times that you need to pull away from certain things in order to do something, and there's times that you can kind of put it all together through intelligent planning. When it comes to movement issues, if you've gotten a functional movement screen and you're working on, for example, your active straight leg raise, then you're going to want to get away from deadlifting for a while. Heavy loaded deadlifting or kettlebell swings, because that's going to screw up your correction that you're working on. There's other times that you just might get focused on pure strength. You don't have really a lot of time. Maybe you're doing one of Pavel's programs, like Power to the People or body weight strength training in Naked Warrior, and you're just working on those 2 movements for 20 minutes, 5 days a week, or whatever it is you're doing. That's fine, and that'll build your strength up. And if you're like that and you don't have a lot of time, you can simply periodize your training to work on those specific qualities. You could do power for 2 weeks, conditioning for 2 weeks, or and then body weight for another 2. Meanwhile, always working on flexibility, maintaining proper movement through training well and getting screened at least every 3 months or 4 months. Or if you have a little bit more time and you like to put your strength training in with your conditioning, you can do that. That's what's so great about kettlebells. The programming won't hurt your strength training like if you went for a 6-mile run, which would, it's been proven to make you a little bit weaker. You can do like 2 movements of strength, maybe a core move, abs, we say core, and then finish off with your conditioning, so it would be like a deadlift, a press, a hanging leg raise, and one of our complexes, or one of Pat Flynn's, or one of the other ones that are out there. So essentially minimalism, since we're talking about that, putting it all together, is you doing only as much as necessary or as needed to get you to your goals. It's the bare minimum exercises, the bare minimum, not so much time of training, but it can be to get you to your goals. So, for example, if I'm trying to lose fat, I am going to want to eat well, get some power in, especially deadlifts are just a great fat burning move, and squats. And then I'm going to want to do conditioning. So that would be my program for my fat loss. If I want to get stronger and have some conditioning, maybe I'm going to do one move pretty heavy and just focusing on total tension, and then go right into my conditioning and doing the bare minimum of flexibility. So that in last week's post, we talked about the really only 2 stretches you need, unless you have some kind of specific issues or you want to improve at something. You really just need the Bretzel 1 and 2. So look back to last week's post if you haven't seen that. I'll put a link below. And by the way, if you haven't read or listened to the watch the videos that we've done up to this point, I would recommend to go back and do those before you watch this, so you can really understand what I'm talking about. It's important to know posts 1 through 5 over the last 5 weeks, well 6 now, that we've done to make sure you're understanding where I'm coming from, because otherwise it just sounds like a bunch of gibberish. So, minimalism is an awesome concept. It's simply just doing the bare minimum to get your results, and with the shortest amount of time commitment involved with it. So, it could be all kettlebell. You have 20 minutes a day. You do your mobility, you warm up, you do some crawls, a little bit of strength work, maybe some pressing, maybe squats the other day, heavy swings another day, dead swings, and you're doing all complexes. It could be all body weight. You're doing push-ups, pull-ups, pistols if you can, bridging, separating those on different days, maybe 2 movements a day, and then again you're doing some kind of body weight complex or a kettlebell complex. So what I'm trying to say is you don't have to spend 2 hours at the gym anymore. Thank God. And I always say, by the people that do that, what's missing in their life? What are they neglecting that needs to be taken care of? I mean, if you're wealthy enough to afford, house cleaning and people to take care of all your work for you around the house, but what about your family? What about the time with them if you have it? It obviously doesn't apply if you're single, but minimalism is the way out of that. Spending, I got to do my stretching, I got to do my strength training, I got to do my hour cardio. Well, how about we work hard enough, intense enough for shorter periods and get a better result because you're raising your metabolism, and spending less time at the gym or wherever you train at home, which I do sometimes, rather than spending 2 hours at the gym and messing up your hormones and breaking your body down and plateauing or diminishing, experiencing the law of diminishing returns and getting worse and not better. So minimalism to me is the freedom away from that. Minimalism is the ability to take care of the things I need to take care of as a man, and as a trainer, and the ability to spend time on educating myself so I can learn more and become a better trainer. So if you're a trainer, think about that. How much more time can you dedicate to your craft and marketing the things you need to do, rather than spending 2 hours, an hour and a half on training. So proper movement, strength to hold the movement and to, as the master quality to make everything else good. Conditioning, off of the strength, flexibility, minimalism. 5 points to make a training program successful for you, and to make it consistent, so you don't have to take times off when you get busy. You can program your workout to fit your schedule, still get the results you need, and not neglect the stuff that's important. So minimalism is an awesome principle. I hope you grab a hold of it and really start putting it on to work. Now, if you really want to learn more about that, the guy you want to talk to is probably Pat Flynn, more than anybody. He pretty much has written a book on it. In fact, it's Paleo Workouts for Dummies. It's all about fitness minimalism. If you don't want to buy that, if you haven't gotten it, I would recommend that you get it. And if you have, read it and read it again and follow the progressions. He's got a good program, and you can keep viewing this blog, because that's a big principle in training and reality. So, all right, well, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week, and we'll talk more about some other training stuff. And we're going to keep cranking out these awesome workouts for you and important, truthful principles of training. All right, enjoy.